What's happening, YouTube? It's Simon466 Cards, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the Fanatics and Panini rumors that have been going on for what seems like forever. But before we do that, I want to go back in time and review the history of Fanatics' involvement in the sports card industry. So you have here on the screen from August of 2021. That's when Fanatics basically came out of nowhere, out of left field, and got the licenses to baseball, basketball, and football. This is the tweet from Adam Schefter in August of 2021 here. Nobody saw this coming, right? It came out of nowhere. It surprised the entire sports card industry. Fanatics kept everything close to the vest and worked behind the scenes to make this happen. They were able to work with both the MLB, the MLBPA, the NBA, the NBAPA, and the NFLPA, and I assume the NFL, to make this happen. Nobody leaked a single word until it happened. Nobody had any idea what was happening. Keep that in mind. This is going to be a running theme. So you have 3 leagues and 3 players associations with insider knowledge, along with Fanatics as a whole. Nobody spilled the beans on anything. That's kind of where we are with this. Let's now go to the next big splash they made. Fanatics acquires Topps for $500 million. I actually didn't know the price until now. That seems like a lot of money. But that was January of 2022. You can see in this CNBC article here. January 2022. Again, came out of nowhere. Nobody saw that coming. There was, I wonder what they're going to do. Are they going to create their own Fanatics brands? Yada, yada, yada. Again, nobody knew anything about this until it happened. Boom. First Monday in January, dropped the bombshell on the entire hobby. Again, nobody heard anything about this. Cut to April 6, 2022. The NFL and Major League Baseball and players unions invested in Fanatics. There was a round of investment for some amount of money. Again, we didn't hear much about that in the sports card hobby because it doesn't affect us directly. But again, there was no talk of this, and then boom, it happened. And there's some discussion here about leading to a potential IPO. And this April 22. Leading up to the National in late July of 2022, you started hearing the rumors. Well, Fanatics, they bought Topps. They're going to buy Panini. That's the next thing that's going to happen. They'll announce it during the National. That's when they'll tell everybody. That's when it's going to happen. They bought Topps in January. They're going to buy Panini in July. This is how it's going to go. Well, the National came and went. Oh no! Inside sources say it's just coming. There was a hiccup. There was a delay. It's going to happen, within the next little bit. I don't know about you, but I kept on hearing and seeing these in a bunch of videos about how it was going to happen at the National, happen shortly after the National. It's in the works. Just I have a source. Yada yada yada. And it is February of 2023. I'm recording this on February 19th. Here's a Google search of YouTube videos when I look for Fanatics Panini news. You have a thing here from Sports Card Radio from September 12th saying confirmed Panini to buy Panini, or Fanatics to buy Panini. You have one here from Sports Card Investor October. Is Fanatics actually buying Panini? You have another one here talking about the Sports Card Radio news. There's more stuff here. Fanatics to buy, yada yada. Josh Luer's out. Fanatics officially buys Panini, yada yada yada. There's just, and then now you have, are they really buying Panini, or what's happening here? You have here, Fanatics buys Topps. Panini has to be next. This is January 2022, so that's a full year ago. This is from Sports Card Dad. Sorry, Dustin. And so, a lot of smoke. No fire. And so I guess my question is, all of these quote unquote inside sources you can see here, there's nothing. They're talking about WWE, they're talking about all this stuff, but there was a lot of content made about Fanatics buying Panini, but there's no actual Fanatics buying Panini. And here's the first question that I have. Why would these people, Sports Card Radio, some of these other guys, why would they have an inside source? If you're able at Panini to keep it all under wraps when there's a deal between Panini, the NFL, the NFLPA, Major League Baseball, Major League MLBPA, NBA, NBAPA, you are able to keep it under wraps with that complex of a transaction. Why wouldn't you be able to keep it under wraps when you're just working with one company in Panini? Second of all, if you are working at either Panini or Fanatics and you are an employee and you somehow are in the know, if you leak the news and it gets out that it was you, congratulations, you got fired. Like, who is risking their job, their career to spill the beans to someone who's not even a reporter, basically, right? It's not like you have someone from the New York Times or some kind of hedge fund digging deep and trying to get the latest news to profit off of it or whatever. There's no real incentive for anybody to be doing this hard digging 24/7 to create some kind of article or financial news or whatever, right? Like, this ultimately doesn't really impact much. There's nobody's digging in on this right now. And so combine those two together, it just seems unlikely that any news will be leaked until the actual news happens, if it happens, right? So that's where I'm with that. The other side is it's a hot and sexy topic. Oh yeah, Panini's gonna get bought out. They're gonna get all the brands. We're gonna do all this stuff. It's a lot less sexy to say, does it make sense business-wise for them to buy Panini? So I'm here to make that non-sexy case. So this is the video here, or this is my slide. So I'm going to give you the business reasons, not just, oh, this makes sense. I'm going to give you actual business reasons why why Fanatics doesn't need to buy Panini or their brands. First question. Is the Panini brand really that strong? Think of how much Panini is disliked right now by the hobby. What is your first instinct when you hear of Panini cards? 1, terrible customer service. 2, quality control sucks. 3, they overprinted all of their brands with all the parallels. 4, the redemption process is horrendous and everybody hates it. And people have been stuck, and now they're getting stuck with cards they didn't really want, or they're getting Panini points and just not what they're looking for. Is that really the brand that you're wanting to buy if you're Fanatics? Why do you want all that baggage, right? When you buy a Panini, if you're Fanatics, you're buying the goodwill. What goodwill does Panini have right now? Like, what love does their brand really generate when you think about them if you're in the hobby? To me, that's like the number one. Like, okay, so I buy Panini. I also buy all of Panini's like baggage with the hobby and all the negativity and all the pessimism and skepticism that people have with them. If I'm buying them, am I really wanting to take that on? Number 2. People talk about, oh, you got to continue the Panini's brands. Oh, Prism, like, oh my, like that's all, we got to keep that going. Well, I mean, Panini's and like Prism specifically, it's only been around 10, 11 years. So it's not like it's that long. Here's another, I guess, evidence of that. When you think about LeBron James's number 1 card, you think about what? Topps Chrome. Guess what? Panini owns that. Why can't they just bring it back? It's not like people in the hobby hate Topps and Topps Chrome. So they already have a built-in brand with built-in history that they can just recontinue. And Topps and Topps Chrome goes back Like it's not like it doesn't go back in time, right? Well, I mean, Topps Chrome not so much, but Topps. The third thing is, again, it's only been 10, 11 years, guys. It hasn't been that long. Like, why are we that worried? If people over 10, 11 years now all of a sudden love Prism, why wouldn't we think that a company like Fanatics wouldn't be able to build back up that luster to a new brand, or to bring it back to a brand like Topps Chrome and some of the other ones, I don't know, Topps Heritage, other ones, etc. So it's this whole like, oh, Prism's all we've ever known. It's like, well, you can get to know new ones because Panini's proven that they can make you like and love a brand, right? Like Prism, like National Treasures, Flawless. All right, last reason. You hear a lot about how Fanatics, and you hear about this from Michael Rubin, about how Fanatics is going to grow the sports card industry. They want to 10x it, yada, yada, yada. So if your whole thing is, I'm going to make this thing blow up, and I'm going to target new people and bring them into the hobby, and we're going to the moon, guys, all of these people won't care about Panini. All these new people coming in that are, in theory, coming in the future, they don't care about Panini. They don't care about Prism. They have been in the hobby to experience that connection. So they'll be like, oh, Topps Chrome? Cool. Let's go with that. Panini, Prism, what's that? I've never heard of that. Because they weren't around over the last 10 years. All these new people that, again, if they follow through on their strategy, that's what's going to happen, or there's going to be just a lot of growth, right? If you go in with that mindset of the strategy is to market to new people, those new people have no history at all with Fanatics, with Panini, with Prism, with National Treasures, with Flawless, with Immaculate, with Select, etc., etc., etc. So why do I need to buy it if all these people that we're bringing to the hobby won't care? They'll be like, Topps Chrome? Cool. Right? So those are, like, just from a very basic business perspective, why they don't need to buy Panini. Ultimately, though, there are reasons to buy Panini. There are reasons not to. I've just talked about the ones that are not to. There are reasons for them to buy Panini, continuity, all that stuff, if they really wanted to. Second, it's ultimately going to come down to price. If Panini wants to say, you can license our brands, or you can just buy us out for X dollars, it just all comes down to what that X is. If it's a price that Fanatics says makes sense, they'll buy them. If not, they'll say, we can make our own brands. Like, thank you, no thank you, Panini. And please have fun with your poor quality control and bad redemption process somewhere else, maybe in Europe. And then third, as I've talked about, if you're actually involved in these negotiations, you're not going to tell anybody. So nobody knows anything about what Fanatics is doing. Ultimately, that's the point of this video. So I'm going to tell you, don't waste your time with rumors. It's been 6 months. Nothing's happened, despite many a person, many influencer and content creators saying, oh yeah, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I know, I know a guy. Well, guess what? It hasn't happened. If it was going to happen, they're not the ones that would know. So don't waste your time with rumors. Carry on with your life. It won't affect you. That's the video. That's what I came down to. I just, when I saw these rumors 6 months ago, these were the first questions that came to mind. Like, why are we so sure? Why would someone leak? So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, whether you agree with the rationale I put in here for why they don't need to buy Panini and their brands, and also why it doesn't make sense someone would leak to people who aren't really reporters. As we do here, we preview the next video. We're going to talk about a very spooky place. And that spooky place is the sports card hobby. Ghosting. Ghosts. They're everywhere. Thank you once again for watching and listening. I can be found on Instagram at the same handle, Simon466cards. I hope you have a good week. Cheers.